Failing to cooperate in your SSDI claim when you have an upcoming consultative examination is not just a bad move. It's not even an idiotic move. It's a stupid move. Let's get to why this is just as bad as what I talked about in the previous video. Now, as I mentioned before, there are two types of failure to cooperate cases in the SSA disability verse. There is failure to comply to an initial request for evidence or action, and failure to comply to an initial request to attend the consultative examination, also known as a CE. Now, if you've watched some of my videos already, you know that a consultative examination is a medical evaluation provided by Social Security to be seen by a doctor, not one of SSA's doctors, but a doctor on contract to provide these evaluations to give some more information about what you're dealing with when it comes to your medical conditions. I have a video that talks about that very thing. It's up here on this little thing right here, and I put a link in the description. But here's the deal. When the examiner at the DDS sends out a notice with the appointment date and time of your CE, the examiner needs you to confirm that you're going to go. If your examiner doesn't get that confirmation from you, your examiner may see this as you failing to cooperate with going to the appointment, which will prompt the examiner to then follow up on what the real deal is. Like I talked about in part 1, the examiner is required by policy to give you reasonable effort to get in touch with you when you don't reply to that first request to get in contact. Now, like I said before, there have been changes over the years with this failure to cooperate situation, especially when it comes to CE appointments. But I'm not going to talk about what used to happen. I'm going to talk about what goes on now. So let's break it down. Let's say the examiner sets up a CE for you to go to and you don't reply, confirming that you will go within 10 days of the date on the letter. The examiner is required to follow up with you by phone first. But first, they need to make sure that there is no special handling required. Now, special handling is basically saying that you have some kind of limitation, be it mental or educational, physical or verbal, that keeps you from being able to call back the examiner to confirm. So what will happen is the DDS examiner is going to get in contact with your third party to help assist you in being able to confirm that you go to the appointment. One good example when it comes to CEs is whether you have some mental allegations or conditions that require you going to a psychiatric or psychological CE appointment. The examiner is required to get in contact with your third party contact to ask for their assistance in this matter. What the examiner is asking for in terms of assistance is confirming the appointment, helping you attend the appointment, or following up on why you did not keep the appointment. Now, that first phone call when you don't confirm the appointment is to you, or it could be your appointed representative like your attorney or an advocate. It could be your third party, or if you have a proper applicant who steps in when you are unable to sign or fill out forms or things like that. Now, in that first phone call, if the examiner reaches you, the examiner is going to ask you if you will attend the CE, provided that the CE date has not already passed. If you say that you won't go to the CE, you have to have a good reason why. And a good reason is if you have some illness that prevents you from being able to go to the appointment, if you have had a death in the family or a serious illness in your family, or something else beyond your control that is just preventing you from being able to do it. And just so we're clear, going to your family reunion is not a good reason. I've gotten that before. Transportation is not even a good reason in most cases, because what the DDSs do now is provide video consultative exams or telehealth consultative exams. So you may not even have to leave your house to have a CE, depending on what your allegation is. Now, if your reason is a good one, then the examiner will reschedule the CE. If your reason is not a good one, but you need special handling, then the examiner is going to get in contact with your third party. But if your reason is not a good one across the board and you don't need special handling, that's failure to cooperate and you about to get denied. Now that's if the examiner did reach you, but if the examiner doesn't reach you, then as usual, they try to leave a message on your phone or leave a message with an adult who answers the phone call. Now, if the examiner doesn't reach you, then the examiner is required to try to get in contact with you by mail to get you to cooperate. And the letter is going to have the examiner's contact information, a request to confirm that you will go to the CE, and a 10-day window to reply to the letter. Now, if you got issues with your attitude and you don't think you should be going to a CE and you fold up your arms talking about, well, what if I don't go? Well, you get the standard warning. If you fail to respond in 10 days, or if you simply refuse to go to the CE, the examiner will make a decision based on the evidence in your file, which means that you could be found not disabled by Social Security. So the best policy is to just simply not break one of my 10 disability commandments. Help the examiner help you. You're the one applying for SSDI. And if the examiner has to try to beg you to go, well, the examiner's not going to beg you to do anything. It's on you on how bad you want these benefits. And if you decide that you don't want to go because you don't think you should have to, well, you're shooting yourself in your own foot. Which is why I always tell people apply for SSDI, cooperate, go to the CE, because you don't know if that CE could actually be the thing that pushes your case over the finish line to getting those SSDI benefits and having you on the rolls. Now, you may be wanting to go to a CE appointment, but you're not really sure what to expect or even what to bring with you. And I don't want you to have to think that you have to bring everything in the kitchen sink to the CE. There are certain things that you should bring to the CE. And I have a video that lays it out in very, very clear detail on what you should bring to your CE appointment. All you have to do is click on the link in this video, and I cover the things you should bring to your CE appointment. I'll see you on the other side in the next video.